Welcome, everybody. We're glad to have you all. So today we are joined by Samantha Tavarez, and we're going to be talking about women after 40, emotional, relational, and identity transitions. So thank you all for joining us today. It's very cool to have you all. So let me introduce Samantha. A few of you might have met her before. Samantha is a compassionate, licensed professional counselor. She's originally from Brazil. She began her counseling career in 2005 and expanded her practice to the U.S. in 2021. She specializes in childhood development, parenting skills, anxiety, chronic pain management, compulsions, family grief, depression, and relationship dynamics. Samantha's fluent in Portuguese, English, and Spanish, and her approach integrates evidence-based techniques, including solution-focused grief couples therapy, the Gottman method for couples, dialectical behavioral therapy, person-centered therapy, and motivational interviewing. Samantha is also experienced in incorporating a faith-based approach when appropriate to meet clients' needs. Today, Samantha's here to talk to us about what it's like to face life after 40 for women. So thank you for joining us, Samantha.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Can I say a little thank you in different languages? Just because going with the questions, reading the questions, I saw many people from other nationalities, and I'm always so happy to see. Entonces, buenas tardes ou boa tarde para os meus colegas de Portugal ou de Brasil e mis amigos latinos também. Buenas tardes. Com muito prazer eu falo sobre esse tema, Liz. Inclusive, é uma coisa... Oh, I just forgot. I was speaking Portuguese. I'm sorry.
Like, what?
I'm sorry. Yeah, just seeing if you were paying attention.
Voglio parlare italiano. A ver.
Porque falar italiano não é muito, como que não consigo muito. Solamente um pouquinho. No.
We're going to practice. Add a fourth language there to you, Samantha. Well, I'm curious, is 40 years old like an estimated age, or has there been some research that shows that women change at around 40?
Yes. And I would start by saying to our public that I saw all the questions. I tried to connect the questions with everything that we're going to explain and expose here to this presentation. So I think this reminds me of one question. Yeah, someone asked it, why the doctors, they kind of are so, they give so much emphasis to women who want to have babies in their 40s or after their 40s. Yes, and it just came to my mind, and I'm going to answer yes. So with 40s or 40 plus, right? There is a lot of changes, hormonal changes in the woman's body. And because of that, yes, we start to face a lot of different things. These hormonal changes makes us feel sometimes more tired, having brain fog, feeling anxiety, having feelings that we didn't have before. And yes, I would say it's a challenging age, not the 40s. Yes, it depends on each individual, of course, but not only because of this hormonal part, but also because of what we're experiencing in life in general, right?
So what are some things that women might experience, some changes women might experience?
Yeah, so we already started to talk about the hormonal changes, right? But always when I talk to a woman that start to say something about their mood swings, for example, or these hormonal changes, I always want and invite this woman to think about, okay, let's hit the pause button and let's just take a look at how life is right now for us, right? So I think it's very much profound when we think about who we are in this age, how many life we already have lived, right? And we already passed through being a daughter, having your family of origin, maybe getting married, maybe going super up professionally. Maybe we are already grandmothers, or no, maybe we're facing like having a baby after 40s. We definitely are seeing changes in our parents, in our family of origin. We also are seeing changes in our daughters and sons. We are definitely not the same way connected to our husbands, for example, or even to our friends. Our friends have been changing through these years for many different reasons. So we are assumed of all of these changes. And the reason why we feel this so deep is because we are with ourselves, we are with our bodies. And yes, it's normal to feel that everybody, it's kind of in a different controlling level, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, we are body and soul. One, like our faith teaches us, right? Unity of body and soul. And so
Yes.
therefore the things that our body goes through, it affects us as our in our deepest being.
Yeah, definitely.
Something you mentioned reminded me of a question that somebody had, which was like, why does it seem like maybe friendships are harder when you get older? Have you seen that with other people? I've seen it with a ton of women that I see. It's just
Oh
so hard,
yeah,
friendships.
with a ton of people, with myself, for example. Yes, yes. I think we lack in time sometimes to make connections, right? So we will make connections with people who is like who are around us. So if we have, I don't know, a child that it's in elementary school, we probably would bond more with these women from elementary school. And if we are okay with transitioning from old friends to these friends, we will have closest friends. But if not, if making friends is something difficult, we might feel kind of alone. And yes, yes, that's normal. Unfortunately, it's very normal.
When you were mentioning identity, changes in identity, what do you mean by identity? What are we referring to?
Yeah, identity is it's a strong word, right? But it does not mean so much. It means for us who are experiencing, of course. So our identity changes all the time. For example, from mom to professional to grandmother to daughter to wife. Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
like we face all of these different identities that are going to appear more or less depending on the situation. And we kind of have a challenge to try to balance all of them and to connect all of them with what we have in our core, with our basal values, I would say, right? So that is what we call identity.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a little bit, it could correspond to maybe our roles. Like when I'm young, I'm a daughter to my parents. And then if I get married, then I'm a wife to my husband. And then I become a mother to my children, and I'm still a wife to my husband. And
Exactly.
then if my kids get married, then I'm a mother-in-law. And then if my kid has a kid, then I'm a grandmother, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh-huh. Okay.
That's all of
Yeah.
that happening at the same time, right?
Yeah, and it seems like there's some acceptance sometimes, right? Like we need some acceptance to, like, what if I don't want to be a grandmother? Like my stepdaughter's getting married this in December, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a grandmother probably in the next 5 years. I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Yes, Liz, you are. You are. You are.
So yes, there's
So
some acceptance needed or something, right?
exactly, yeah. Sometimes if we really work on these life transitions, we can experience a little bit of grief, yeah, from the old cycle that it's closing, or we are or not ready for it to happen, right? And yes, there has to be some acceptance for us to live in the future uh, a joyful life, I would say. Yes. So yes, you're probably are going to this stage right now, or are you trying to avoid it until it's coming?
Like, I'm still, I mean, only 4 years ago did I become a mom, so I'm still like balancing that, and then yeah, coming to like, okay, well, better start praying for acceptance, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So,
What about? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was gonna just say that yes, this is a very important point. Like it's been 5 years that you are trying to adjust to a new role with all of these other roles in your life too. And yes, it is super challenging. So when we talk about us, women 40 plus, because I'm one of them, like we're talking about adjusting and at the same time that we are feeling and we are seeing. Yeah. And we have this tendency to think that we have to make sure that everybody understands us and that we're not a burden to somebody or to our family members, but we have to accept mainly for us that yes, a lot of changes are happening and we really have to be able to use some grace and maybe to help family members to start to use some grace towards us too. It's super necessary.
Something that you mentioned when in the summary of this promotional thing was like accepting that we can't do everything, or maybe not even wanting to strive anymore to be perfect. Asking other people to help, or maybe we used to do. This reminds me also of a question we got submitted, right? Like we could be used to doing everything for the family, and then we transition into, I don't want to do everything for the family. Like, or maybe I can't physically do everything for the family, and I do need to care for myself. Like, how do we shift into it's okay for me, I don't know, to do whatever it is that I need to do? Maybe you knit, maybe you run, maybe you swim, maybe you walk, maybe you have coffee with a friend.
I would add one more thing, right? How can I deal with my feelings of guilt if I have to set up some new boundaries? Yes, because yes, for 40 plus years, I'm used to be in this role of providing, of nurturing. And now I really need to look more into myself and kind of see what do I need from this family? What do I need for myself?
Yeah.
Right? So it comes again with the accepting, right? I used to say that 40 plus women, we need validation from families. Yes, we need validation from friends, from families, and even from ourselves, because we are transitioning from this nurturing period to a period of sometimes a caregiver from older parents. And this is super different. It's completely different. You take care of your older parents than when you took care of your children, right? So we also have to validate that this is a new experience for all of us, for starting with myself and extending to friends and families, right? So how can we navigate understanding our new or explore what would be that we need from now on to have, starting with ourselves, but also from family members, right? And then it comes these examples that you said. I always tell my clients, like, let's ask maybe every day or every week, just in a lone moment, let's ask God, what do I need to nurture in myself this next week, for example? Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I will start to come back and come back closer to my own self to learn, okay, what do I need now? What should be the priority right now? Not only to take care of people, but to take care of myself, right? Do I need, I don't know, to take care of my diet? Do I need to visit a doctor to ask if these hormonal changes are normal? Do I need to ask someone for help because of my mood changes, my mood swings? Or I don't know. Do I need to do some bar classes, ballet classes, because this helps me to kind of calm down my mood, right? I really need to understand what I need in this new stage of life.
And get over the guilt, right? No, okay, feeling guilty is normal because this is new and people are adjusting to the fact that I'm asking for time for myself. I
Yeah,
might get some pushback, but that's okay. Yeah.
of course, we'll have, right, this some pushback. People like to be taken care of, right? But then now we need it. We need it too. We need it before, of course, but before the priority was different. But now I think we become a priority too, because if we're not aligned, how are we going to be able to manage all the rest of the things that, yeah, continue to happen?
So true.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for the hormonal changes, or do you recommend people see any particular kind of provider for that?
Oh, definitely, I would say you're a gynecologist. Yeah. Or sometimes even the regular doctor, depending on, especially if they are a woman for sure. If they're a man, I would say yes too. I think nowadays, all of these doctors, they are pretty much aware of these changes that are happening. And what I see in some researches is that even this premenopausal, for example, they tend to become present for women in their 30s sometimes.
Mm.
So yes, I would say I always tell my clients we here as psychologists and counselors, we're here to help with the moods, of course, and we have a lot of tips to give you. But I always feel that it's better if you go and see your doctor just to make sure that what is going on is normal and it's not something that really needs more support. Yeah, and more support, I say medication, hormonal, yeah, hormonal
Supplements or
supplements. Yes, yes,
Mhm.
that's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Are there
but
any resources that you recommend, books or podcasts, or where have you found information that you've found helpful?
that's a very good question, and maybe I'll have to think about it to let you know, because
Okay.
uh, yeah, like I for myself, I read some books, but these are more professional books. Sometimes for clients, I ask them to try to look at some podcasts. So I'll probably put here in the chat, so people can know, because with a woman 40 plus, like my memory is not my best thing at this moment, but I
Fair.
can provide you this in a minute. So see, this is another thing, like we have to be able to start to use more of a sense of humor to deal with these things, right? Because
Yes.
I used to be so sharp in my memory, but now I'm not anymore. And yes, this is a condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of putting together with our faith, I think it's also something that God wants me to work on, right? To look at myself using more grace. And yes, to accept that, yes, you don't have to be a superwoman. You are not the superwoman anymore. Like maybe you can be, but at this point, it's just working to accepting that this is my new condition. Yeah. And today it's a little bit worse. Tomorrow can be a little bit better. Yeah.
Well, we've reached the end of our time. I mean, it goes really
Oh,
fast now that we're fitting it into people's 30-minute lunch hour. Is there some kind of thought you'd like to leave people with? Maybe a sound bite, a snippet, just something if they take one thing away from today, what would you like them to take away?
okay. Let me just read, because I separated this Bible verse. Um, but I try to use it for myself every time I'm thinking about this theme. And it comes from Psalm, and it says, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Because when we talk about women 40 plus, we tend to see all of what is changing and it's affecting us negatively, right? But there is this side too. There is this side of we have more wisdom. Yeah. We have so many experiences in our lives at this point. And we just need to be a little bit more patient with ourselves and kind of restructure this in our mindset. And this is an invitation. So every time that you are dealing with something that it's about being a woman 40 plus, try to value yourself too. Try to value your history too. Try to value your wisdom. Yeah. Because we always have a purpose. We always have a God's purpose for us, for even to be thinking about whatever we are thinking. Yeah. So that's what I want to share. And please, it was super fast. It was very nice to talk to you, Liz. Please, whoever is listening and want me to answer your question, send me an email and I'll happily answer your question. Okay?
I'm going to place your information in the chat in case anybody has a question to send to you. They can shoot it on over to you. And we look forward to sending out this recording. We'll have it ready in about a week or so. I think some people had difficulty connecting. So we'll make sure that it's available on YouTube and everybody can watch it there. It's great to see you, Samantha.
Thank you so much, Liz. Bye.